Hey Credit Warriors, Credit Shifu here, and today we are looking at 5 reasons to get the Apple credit card. Now, I know in previous videos I have been a little bit critical of this card, but there are some reasons why this card may be good for some people. So let's have a look at why you should get the Apple credit card. Here are 5 reasons. Number 1, low credit score requirement. Now, according to news reports, Apple and Goldman Sachs, who they've partnered with for this card, are lending and issuing the card to subprime customers. Okay, so subprime, it refers to the credit score, and generally a credit score of 620 or below is considered subprime, where most lenders don't really want to lend to people like that, and you'll have to get some, crappy credit card that charges you loads of fees or stuff that's, specifically for rebuilding your credit, all right, or building your credit up for the first time. Apparently, several banks actually refused Apple's offer to, partner with a credit card or partner on a credit card. So Chase, Barclays, Citi, and even Synchrony Bank refused, turned down Apple's offer. And it's believed that this is because Apple actually wanted to target subprime, customers. All right. So Goldman Sachs accepted the offer. Now, according to news reports, people with subprime credit scores are being approved, albeit with lower credit limits, okay? So it was reported in Business Insider, one guy apparently he told CNBC that he had a 620 credit score and he was approved with a $750 credit limit. So that's quite a low credit limit and a high APR, all right? But he was approved. And if you have a look, some review sites even recommend this card for people with credit scores as low as 580. So according to research, people even that low are getting approved for the Apple credit card. So for this reason, it could be a good first credit card, or a credit card if you've just had like one other, maybe your second credit card or your first rewards credit card, or if you've damaged your credit and you're in the process of repairing it. Definitely a good alternative to some of those terrible fee harvester cards that charge you like loads of fees just because you've got a low credit score. So something to think about if you are in that range. Number 2, you get to know your credit limit and APR before they do a hard pull. So when you apply in the app, Apple and Goldman Sachs will actually make you an offer based off of your credit score and your annual income. They'll make you that offer and you'll be able to see your credit limit and your APR before they actually do a hard pull on your credit report. So if you choose to not accept their offer, it doesn't damage your score, but you can see what you would be offered. So I tried this with a credit score in the mid 700s, so like 750, 760, somewhere around there, and an annual income a little bit over $100,000. So that's what I input. And it gave me a credit limit of $7,500. That's about mid-range credit limit for me. So my lowest credit limit on a card, I think, is about $2,500. My highest credit limit on a personal card is $15,000. On my business card, I've got, like 40,000 limit, but that doesn't really count because it's a personal card. So yeah, my highest limit is about 15,000. So this is pretty much bang in the middle, actually, of, my credit limit. So mid-range credit limit. And they also offered me 17.99% APR. Now, Apple's APR range on their card, depending on creditworthiness, is from 12.99% to 23.99%. So I was at 17.99%, pretty much slap bang in the middle of their range of APR. And it's also quite a bit lower than some of the other APRs on some of my other cards. I tend to be more around 20% on other cards. So I think it was quite a nice offer. I was very pleased to see it without having to go through the process of actually getting the card. But in the end, I turned the offer down just because I don't really want to open up any new accounts at the moment. And I also don't think the card brings that much benefit to me personally, but I think it would to some other people. So that is an advantage. You can see what you're getting without having to go through a hard pull. Number 3, it earns 2% cash back on everything, potentially. So this card does give you an opportunity to earn 2% cash back on all your spending as long as you use Apple Pay to pay for your purchases. Now, this is doable depending on where you live, depending on where you shop. Now, this brings me to the sponsor of today's video, the app Max Rewards. Now, just like, when using the Apple credit card, you need to kind of pay attention to where you are shopping to use Apple Pay to get the maximum value, okay, to get that 2% back. Actually, credit card points and miles hobbyists face this dilemma all the time, how to keep track of which card earns the best cashback or the best amount of points at what store and when to use each one, okay? Well, the new app Max Rewards helps you do just that. You can select which cards you have from a list when you set up the app, and then Max Rewards will tell you which card is best to use at the store that you are currently in by tracking your phone's location. It'll also give you a list of nearby stores. The app will even know which stores accept Apple Pay, so it will adjust the rate of cashback on the Apple Card accordingly. It'll even track rotating categories on the Chase Freedom, for example. Right now, it is 5% back at gas stations, so for this gas station, you can see it is recommending the Freedom with a 5%. Another feature of this app that I really like is the fact that you can adjust the value of points currencies in the settings. So if you're like me and think that Chase Ultimate Rewards points are worth 2 cents per point, you can set them as that. But if you only ever redeem through the travel portal, you may want to set the value at 1.5 cents. And you can see here, Max Rewards will calculate based on the value that you have chosen. Now, if you link your accounts to the app, you'll get access to a load of other features, such as notifications of upcoming bills. You'll be able to see your points balances aggregated together, and also the value of those points worked out according to the values that you have entered for each individual points currency. So it really is quite useful. They've also got a new feature coming soon where they'll actually activate all your offers from Amex, Bank of America, and Chase, and then incorporate those offers into their card suggestions. So if a certain card has an offer at a certain store, they'll probably suggest that card over another one because you'll be getting a better return when you account for cashback or points plus the offer on top of that. So let's get back to the Apple Card. So this is an advantage. It basically offers 2% cashback as long as you use Apple Pay. Now, this may be a good alternative to people who cannot get approved for the Citi Double Cash, which, as you probably know, is another card that earns 2% cashback on everything, all right? But it's generally recommended for people who have a credit score of 690 or above. So for those who can't get approved for the Citi Double Cash, the Apple credit card does offer 2% back on basically everything, as long as you do the little bit of extra work and make sure you go to places where you can pay through Apple Pay. Number 4, there are no fees. Now, one of the selling points of this card is that there are no fees at all. So no foreign transaction fees, no annual fee, no late payment fee, which is quite interesting. So this is a great alternative to those kind of fee harvester cards that people with low credit scores often end up with, where they get charged a load of extra fees, basically preying off of their misery. So I do commend Apple for doing that, both targeting people with lower credit scores, but actually offering a card that is quite a good deal in certain regards, particularly the fact that it has no fees. Number 5, a long grace period. The grace period on the Apple credit card is 28 days. Now, what a grace period is the period of time from after your statement closes until the due date when you have to pay your bill. That's known as the grace period. Now, by law, cards don't actually have to provide a grace period. Sometimes they can start charging interest as soon as the statement closes, okay? As is the case with those fee harvester cards. But if they do provide a grace period, it must be at least 21 days. So you'll see most cards are either 21, 22, 23, sometimes you'll see 24, but Apple kind of goes above and beyond with that, and they give a grace period of 28 days. So that means that if you were in a 31-day month, for example, and you bought an item, let's say you make a large purchase on the first day of your statement, okay, the first day of your statement cycle. You've got 31 days until the end of your statement cycle, and then after that, you've got another 28 days. So we're talking a total of 59 days before you'd actually have to make the payment for that item. So that really is quite a long time, and definitely a plus point of this card. Now, I remind people though, always spend responsibly. Don't think just because you can string out paying for a long time that you should, but the function is there if you need it. So guys, those are 5 reasons to get the Apple credit card. In conclusion, I think a lot of these reasons will appear to people with lower credit scores, and it really could be quite an advantageous card for people with scores in the mid to low 600s. I think it probably is the best option for people in that range, low 600 credit scores. Once you get to the high 600s though, there are better options. Now, don't forget to check out the app Max Rewards, who are the sponsor of this video. I'll put the link to their app down below. It really is a very interesting app. It's free of charge. You can download it, so do check it out. As always, guys, this is the Credit Shuffle Show. We will be back in a couple of days with more credit card tips and tricks, and we'll also probably next do a video 5 reasons not to get the Apple credit card, so you can see the other side of the coin. That'll be coming out in a couple of days. All right, guys, please subscribe if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.